No one's using it, but I have one.
Okay.
I'm not big sugar.
My rest of my YouTube page is going to be like now for the next couple of days.
The shit people do with mods on their computers. I would 100% do that though. Dude, you want to play racing?
What is... Oh, I'm like trying to figure out what in the world is reflecting on my... Because I can... So it's like a 3D effect going on my screen in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out what in the world was showing on my screen in the shot. Because on my screen all I see is my channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reflection from the camera and the tree.
Mm-hmm.
All I see is a green thing going like this.
So when you could think the image with like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I know if you should go on it.
I'm sure that pepper is right there, so that's going to look good. Because I can't.
I'll try by a leaf. I moved my beanbag and a leaf.
Alright, that's good.
You said there was enough for dinner?
Yes, Jaden.
I just wanted to make sure Quincy had some, because if there wasn't much left, I was only left for him.
There should be enough for all of the house.
It's good.
Glad you like it.
It's missing carrots.
It's not a roast.
But they can't eat carrots.
It's not a roast.
But vegetables.
Oh, Lord of child. So, I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in.
I love you.
Yep. Are you coming up here at all?
No.
That's nice. Before we get things started here. So today we're going to be doing our Christmas in July, our part of the collaboration with my friend over at Portage Scene, Angela. I'm going to be showing y'all how to do the mini version of the Christmas tree. Now she's doing hers in 4 parts. I'm not exactly sure. More than likely it's not going to be 4 parts. I'm just going to do the one video because I thought it would be fun to do a super mini version of the quilt, just because I had all these scraps from the triangles. Hey Donnell. Well, it's a sad day for us lovers of rock and roll. I was taking a peaceful nap when we got the news that a legend has died. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away today. So, I know it's one small square, but just for the hell of it, I thought it would be fun to see if I could make a teeny tiny itty bitty Christmas tree quilt. So, I cut all the fabric for it. But yes, we lost a true legend today. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his friends, especially Sharon. I know that this is going to be really hard on her. It's already being reported that she's, shall we say, on a special watch. So, it's sad. I can truly say that I don't think music will be the same. But that's my opinion. Now, with that being said, shall we get on with the video? And before anybody says anything, yes, I know my table is lopsided. There is a huge bump. I'm assuming my table got super hot from ironing. And it made it lopsided. So, we're just gonna... And it really bothers me. I need a new table. So, if you have a bunch of squares and you don't know what to do with them, or you have a bunch of jelly roll strips and you don't know what to do with them, cut them out into little squares. I am doing the mini version of the Charming Christmas. Angela over at Quarter Inch Scene is doing the Charm Square version. I am going to post both links to the patterns and the link to her channel real quick. Get those posted. And then this last post is going to be the post for the link to Angela's channel. Well, I thought it was going to be. Please hold. Hey, Lewa. Alright, here it is. And let's post. Alright, so there's all the links and all that good stuff. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is obviously download the pattern. It is free, both versions. And I need to pull up my version here just for a minute. Then you're going to take, I'm not going to give any of the cutting information because that's a thin line. Yes, I know it's a free pattern, but it's also still copyrighted. So therefore, I don't want to hand out any of that lovely information. So you're going to take part of your mini charms, and then you're going to take part of your background, and you're going to make half square triangles. Now these aren't going to be made like the typical half square triangle. These are literally you're gonna draw a line from corner to corner. That's it. None of these quarter-inch line on each side, nothing like that. You're just gonna sew down the line. Easy peasy. Now I've already done most of mine and I've got them trimmed. So actually I've done them all except for these two. that darn fly. So, actually, there they are. Need my scissors. So that's what it should look like, guys. Straight down from corner to corner. Then you're going to take your little ruler. I'm just using my Creative Grids, I believe it's the 5-inch ruler, 5.5 inch. Yeah, 5.5 inch ruler. I'm just gonna lay the 1/4 inch mark on the line that I just sewed, and then I'm just gonna cut. And then of course I would save these for our little tiny extra mini project. And I'm not a big presser, guys. I never have been. Mainly because I always forget that part. But I can tell you that so far I can notice the difference between not pressing on that one and pressing on this one. So you're going to press all of your little tiny squares. Doesn't matter how you're pressing it. Dark side, open. Whatever you're comfortable with. It's your quilt. There's no quilt police. Do what you're comfortable with. And that one. And I'll just save these later. Now, our extra project, I've already got ready to go. I've already got them cut, sewed, and all we've got to do is start placing them together. Now, I did not cut any of the background fabric for the extra project, but I can do that while I chit chat with y'all in a little bit. Now, the background fabric that I'm using for this version versus what I used for that version. I used the plain white for that one. It didn't turn out super scrappy, however, I did make the border scrappy. Angela is doing hers in a red, white, and blue theme. Our whole goal with this, guys, is to show y'all that you can take a so-called Christmas pattern and do what you want with it. You bought the pattern. You downloaded the pattern. Just because it says that does not mean that's what you can only use it for. Be adventurous. Alright, so we've got our bundles here, okay? I will say that you are going to want to label your background fabric. That's the border. I am looking for these. Okay. So we're going to take our C strips. The background that I'm using on this particular version is the Michael Miller Fairy Frost. I cannot tell you offhand which one this is, but I really like it. I have to get more. Alright, so all we're going to do is take these 2 strips. Okay? And you're going to pick out 2 of your little half square triangles. Oh, I just realized I did that one wrong. I may have to make another one. We'll see. So let's go with that one. And let's go with that one. Okay? Now remember, I'm not a scrappy quilter, but we're going to try this. You want your background fabric facing outwards or upwards. So you're going to want it like that. Okay? You're going to take one strip. Now, you can do this several ways. I'm just going to go ahead and sew my two smaller square, my half square triangles together. I'm just flipping one over on top of the other one, and I'm taking a 1/4 inch and I'm sewing straight down. Hopefully the points line up. I can tell you that this will probably be a 2-part series, if not possibly a 3-part, but I'm pretty sure it's only going to be 2 parts. Didn't match quite, but it's good enough. So that's what you're looking for, and you're going to want to press. Actually, that's not what you're looking for. Because I just did it wrong. Just a second. When I flipped it, I turned it. It'll just take a minute. Alright. Let's try this again, guys. Mistakes happen, just go with it. The main part is you want your background fabric facing outwards, okay? Because it's got to match the other background fabric that's going to be around it. Alright, so with that all done, let's try this again. Alright. Now we've got it fit. There we go. And it should look like this. Now we want to press. Now, on the pattern, it is going to show you which ways to press your seams. I probably should press that the right way then. And you really want to pay attention to where you're pressing, because it will matter. It does make it easier when you go to put all the rows together. Alright, now we're simply going to take our C strip and sew one strip on each side. Just like that. And technically you could just go ahead, flip it over and sew the other piece on the other side and then break thread. Do you think I remembered that? No. Press, repeat on the other side. This does go by pretty fast. Ooh, sorry. Pretty fast. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. It's a great project for a beginner. You know, if you got a little kid that really wants to sew or wants to do a quilt or something, go ahead and buy them 2 mini charms or 2 charm packs, because that'll probably be a little easier for little hands to handle. And with that, our first strip is done. Now, this is what I tend to do. Let's get these out of the way. I just simply lay them out on my little board. Just like that. As I go. Alright, so our next, whoopsie, and you're just going to make one of those. It does tell you on each set of strips how many you're making. Basically, it's one of each strip. But you're going to want to pay attention and follow how you make these. So the next one is our D strips, which is right here. Okay? Alright. And you're going to need 2 of your half square triangles. We'll just do that. And you're going to need 2 solid, or 2 of your mini squares that are not made into half square triangles. I've tried to mix them up as best I can. And I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to pull out a square. You'll need, so you need, for the next set, you'll need 2 half square triangles and 1 mini square that's not a half square triangle. And then your 2 D strips. Remembering that your background fabric is always facing in, or background fabric is always facing out. Your tree fabric, as we'll put it, is always facing in. So you'll take 1 square or 1 half square triangle. You'll take your mini square. Sew those together. Or you could put your strip on first, then sew them together. Doesn't matter. Using a 1/4 inch, straight down. And I think since we'll just go ahead and take our strip, sew it to the end of your other half square triangle. Do a little chain piecing here. I really tried with that one to do Scrappy, but guys, I'm not a Scrappy quilter, so it's really hard for me to let go of my OCD that it just has to match and look good. So this is the best way I thought I could do it. I've never been a Scrappy quilter. I'm more of a, what they call, I think Pat Sloan calls it a controlled Scrappy quilter. That's me. That's what I am. Let me check my chat. Hi, Melanie. Yes, Melanie. I'm very sad. I was lucky enough to actually see him in concert. I got to meet him and his whole family backstage. So I'm very lucky that I got to see him in concert and that I got to meet him. I've been very lucky as far as musical people that I've gotten to meet. So that's why I tend to spend a... Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's right. Thought I messed up there for a sec. So before I add these 2 sections together, I'm just going to add the other strip to the other end and sew. Sadly, Sharon's got a long ride ahead of her. I don't know. I'm glad he got to go out his own way. He died doing what he loved. He got to do his last show, and that's all he wanted. And I pray that it was a peaceful, that he went peacefully. The man had a hard life, whether he got on most of it himself or not, but he didn't let it stop him. Now we're just going to add our 2 strips together, just like this. And those for you that don't know, his son Jack Osborne, who I absolutely love. I've always loved Jack. He's always been my favorite. Although he was a kind of an ass when he was younger. And he freely admits that. For those of you that don't know, Jack was, which way am I ironing these? Jack is a fellow MS warrior. I believe he was like 26 when he was diagnosed. I do know that he was in the middle of filming an episode for one of his ghost hunting shows that he had or did, and he noticed that there were some things going on that weren't right. They wound up doing a bunch of tests, and it finally was confirmed that he had MS, or he has MS. He's doing very well with his MS, so that's good. But he is a fellow MS warrior. There's our second. It's not exactly straight, but it's probably because of the way I have things cut. Alright. And I just line it up. Alright. Strip 3, guys. Okie dokie, Melanie. Are you going to make one? Because I got an extra special project when we're all done. So, the third row is your E strips and 2 half skirt triangles and 2 of your A fabrics. What did I just say? E? Uh-oh. What am I missing? Fabric? I need to check something first here, guys. 2.5 by that number. Okie dokie. Okay. I just want to make sure I have that one right. Now I can tell you that these are not going to line up exactly. That's okay. We got this. There's I. F, B. There's K. Whale. H. Hang on. It might still be down in my bucket of fabric here. There we are. Alright. We're taking our E strips. Itty bitty ones. These are our background strips. Alright, now I need to grab two half square triangles. I'm just simply picking them off the stack. I'll get my words together in a minute, guys. And then I need 2 of the A's. So Oh, I don't want that. Here, we'll go with that. And nope, can't use that one. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'm a huge celebrity news person. For the most part. Alright, so again, making sure that we have our pieces right. And then our 2 strips. I believe that's how it's going to go. Okay. We're simply just going to do the same thing we've done with the other ones. Now, when I'm done here, I will discuss some of the fabric that I have in my little pile. Also, if you have an issue when you're sewing your fabric, okay, with seams coming apart for some reason, then back stitch a little bit further than normal at the top and at the bottom. And you can always stop back stitch in the center and keep on going. Alright, so this one is being pressed to the left. I'm sorry. That way. Yeah, the left. I had it right. Alright, and then we're just going to sew these 2. Now, for the most part, this is all different scraps of fabric, different jelly rolls that I had that I knew I wasn't going to really use for anything else, so I just cut them up. Mainly some from the Dollar Tree and all that. Okay? But I've been doing a couple of Christmas projects because it's Christmas in July. And so I've been showing different ways to add different fabrics that you may not put in a quilt. You should, because it makes it look pretty. Now, for instance, this is a ribbon. It's like it was a prepackaged binding that I got. Now, it does fray, but like any other ribbon, just trim off the fraying part as best you can. And do not let your children do this. Take your lighter and just go across the edge ever so slightly. And there you go. The edges are sealed. They won't pull apart unless you do something to it. Okay? Now we have these 2 sets. We're just going to sew those together. I believe that particular one is a blanket binding that I bought. It's one of those pre-packaged ones that they have. They have all kinds of different ones. Alright. And I am actually going to re-sew that line just because Now, I did give my machine a good little clean out the other day and changed her needle because, well, she's been put in the corner for a while because I was too busy playing with my embroidery machine. And so I wanted to make sure she was all nice and clean and oiled. It's the first time I'd really cleaned her and oiled her, so I actually had to look it up. And there really wasn't one for this particular model, but there was a video on the next model, the Passport 3.0. Alright, which I'm going... Oh wait, what am I doing here? Alright, so basically when you're making these, you just want your seeds to be pressed, you know, the top one going this way or vice versa, as long as they are not all the same. Go. Now we're just gonna sew on either end, or I should say both ends, our little E-strips. And I'm gonna give this one a quick press just because it's a little wrinkly. There we go. Now you could use all different shades of low volumes if you had a bunch of those. A bunch of those strips. You could use all those. For me, that's a little much for me to ask of me right now. I gotta get comfortable with this part of the scrappiness. They will work on background scrappiness, unless it's actually supposed to be that way. Pressy press here. Now you could do a seam roll, doesn't matter. I've done both. However, I have to say that, you know, I can tell a difference in the pressing with pressing it. We're just sewing on that next piece of background and there. And I will quickly check the chat here in just a second. I don't have the pattern printed out, so I have to go back and forth. All right. So sorry to hear that, Melanie. So what's everybody working on? Donnell, I know you're busy. You're always busy with stuff. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3. We are on row number 4. So basically it's going to be adding a solid square to each row. So the next, I don't know how to speak. The next row is your F squares. You need 2 triangles, half square triangles. You need 3 of your mini squares. And okay, just press that out. Okay. Shall we pick? Alright, there's 2. Nope, can't use that one. We'll use that one. Alright. Your half square triangles will always go on the ends. So it'll be your background strip, half square triangle, your mini charms. Then when you're done filling in with some mini charms, it'll be the other half square triangle and then your background strip. Until you get to the end. And then it kind of changes a bit. Alright, guys. Remembering when you press that you're alternating which way the seam goes, left to right or right to left. So it should literally be, let's go, left, then right, then left, then right. So we got left, right, right. We're doing okay. Alright, and I'm just going to quickly sew this on the other end. Making sure that you're on your mini charms that your half square triangles, that the background fabric is facing out and your mini square fabric is facing in. And that is on all of them. Alright, I guess we could do it that way. That looks okay. So let's just sew this. The other specialty fabric that I am using in my little mini tree is this vinyl. Okay. Now, I wouldn't necessarily put vinyl, this particular vinyl, in like a bed quilt. You can, there's nothing wrong with it. But these aren't necessarily washer friendly. However, this is a wall hanging. So it's not going to get washed very often, and if it does get washed, what little bit of washing it will have done won't hurt it any. Alright, that's done. Now we're just going to join these two. next on the other side. And just like that, our fourth strip will be done. And as soon as I'm done with this piece, I'll check chat again. And just like that, all done. All right. So, all right. So now. My other piece I need. The next row is going to be these teeny tiny little strips. Okay. For that we need 2 half square triangles. We also need, let's see, 4 of the squares. That one. One, 2, 3. I think I'm going to put that one back in and take that one. Alright. Next, I'm going to check. The name of the project that we're working on is, this is the mini charm, or the mini charming Christmas pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. It is the sister pattern to the charming Christmas pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. I will relink those in the chat. It's a collaboration with my friend Angela over at Quarter Inch Seams. She is doing the charming Christmas version. I'm doing the mini version. She's doing hers in red, white, and blue. I'm doing mine as scrappy as I can. Now, our goal is to show y'all, just because it's printed as a Christmas project, doesn't mean you can't make them in different shades or colors, different holidays, and use each wall hanging to celebrate that particular holiday, like, you know, Halloween, Easter, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, you name it, you can make it. Or if you have a particular, what's the word, a particular setting, I guess, in your house. Like, Angela's all about the seashells. You can do a beachy theme for your beach house. My eye itches, guys. Okay, so you know the thing. So yeah, we're also going to show you. We've got some ideas. I came up with the idea of you could add little charms to it. They make veil weights that you could clip on that are magnetic. If you want to make your tree look like it has lights on it. They have little charms that you can buy, and you can always, you know, pin those on, or however you want to put them on, buy a ribbon, or however. There's different ways of doing it. So we thought it would be fun to do it this way. Angela picked the patriotic because she says she doesn't have a lot of scraps. So, and my square has doggy hair on it. So I'm just going to give each of these a quick press. Okay. That's two. And now we're going to, oops. All right. Ow, ow. Let's see, I think this has this on there, so we will go this, then that. Then that. Okay, let's take that out. There. Actually, I'm just going to trim this because this one is just a smidge bigger than what it needs to be. So, how's everybody's day been? All these things. Okay. And then we're just going to do this real quick. Let's press this. That side, so I don't need to bring the edge. So in strip one. Now, the reason why I say this is going to be a two-part series, not four-part like Angela's going to do. Because, well, we all, work differently. Is that I have come up with a very cute, or what I seem to think is a cute idea as a way to decorate it. And because I don't have my charms here right now, I came up with another idea. And I want to show that to y'all. I won't show it to y'all today but I will show it to y'all in tomorrow's live. It's going that way. Quick press. One more seam to sew on. And if your squares are just a smidge off of 2.5 inches, which I don't mind saying because, well, we all know what a mini charm pack is, so. But, I wouldn't worry about it too much, you know. If it's not a huge difference, it'll be okay. Uh-oh. There we go. I thought Alright. There's our next. It is a little lopsided, but it'll come out in the end. Wait, I don't think I have that right. I think I'm missing one. I am. Ah! Alright. Let me undo this one real quick. There's my itty bitty seam ripper. We're simply just gonna it's a quick fix. Press it real quick. I guess that'll work. Alright. Got that all fixed. Alright, here's our So we will discuss my little idea that I have for tomorrow's video when we're done making this. Alright, and with that, our next strip is done. So we will just lay it down and move to the next one. Alright, now, on this particular one, there are no background end pieces that you're making, okay? You're simply going to take what I believe is going to be the last two, I think, of our half square triangles. And then you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the squares. We've got 1. Anybody got any big plans for the weekend? Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get another. Nope, I don't want that one. Let's do this. There we go. Hi-yo, Patty G. It's your new scrap buster. I haven't made one yet. This is the best way I can figure out how to do my scraps because, well, I'm not a scrappy quilter. I'm a controlled scrappy quilter. So, you know. Alright, so we're going to take our pieces here and we're just going to start sewing them together, guys. Remember, you do not have a background end piece on this particular row. I should probably try that one though. I just don't want too much of one color in one part, so that's why I'm like, eh. Oh. Alright. And I think I'm just going to pick another square. That way I don't have too much of one color. At least I try not to. I know it's a lot of green, but yeah, well. Alright. So let's press these. One end right there that does not want to press down on the other row. Now I will say, unless you don't care if you have prints that are upside down or sideways or whatever, then there's really no need to watch how your fabric is being put together. If you tend to be that type of person that it bothers, then I would say watch how you're either cutting and or piecing them together. But for the most part, in my case, mine is usually, most of mine are all over prints, so I don't necessarily have to worry about it. And then we're just gonna sew these all together and on to the next one. I told y'all this is a fairly quick project. Alright. Little thread there on the clip. For the most part, the only thing you really got to worry about is your pressing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our strip is done. For our seventh row, we are going to take our B strips of our background. This is the bottom of the tree, guys. So we're going to take our B strips of our background fabric. Give them a little press if you haven't already. And we are simply going to, and I've already got it cut. Now, this is literally the only piece of brown fabric I have in the whole quilt. Only because I thought it should be brown. Now, if I was doing the tree itself in this color, or you know, some type of white and gray, with a different colored background, I would use a white strip that had, you know, like a white one of these, to make it look like a birch almost. But we're just going to add that. Now, if you have been careful and you have made sure that each row is pressed the opposite of each other, so one going left, one going right, vice versa, you know, all the way through, this next part should go pretty fast and pretty easy. Okay. Now, for instance, because of how I'm situated here, I'm actually going to put this down on the floor. I'm going to go top to bottom, or bottom to top, when piecing together. I do want to put there, and I want to clip there. Okay. Now the next part is just putting our rows together. Now, with this, it's saying that you're going to press your rows all one direction. And that direction is apparently down. No, it didn't quite line up. Now, I could fix it, but I'm not going to really worry about it. It'll be okay. Well, that's not fair that you can't get back in. Just kind of lining them up a little bit as best I can. And if you look in the pattern, there's really, except for that second row and that last row, not the last, second to last row, not the row with the trunk, but the other row. Other than that, none of them are lined up. And besides, not all trees are straight. That's just what I'll tell myself to feel better. Now this is a good way to start like chain piecing for the most part, you know. Line them all up and stitch them together 2 at a time. Now, because I did use some vinyl in this, it's giving me a little bit of a headache. But for the most part, it works out very well. There we go. I just trim it off. I guess we won't chain piece these. Alright, so, and when you're putting them back down, remember which way they're going. So, as you can see, this way looks fine, except for the fact that it's the wrong direction. So we want it this way. Remember, our house for triangles, the fabrics are going towards the inside of the tree. Move over this way. I know y'all can't see, but I'll show y'all here in a second. And if you have a couple of tough seams, just work them in. You'll be okay. Down. Alright. So, I hope everybody had a good day. I can't believe that some areas are already going back to school. Those are mainly ones that are in school all year, I think. But there are quite a few schools that are going back early. Ow. My iron's a little hot, guys. It's just a steam. Alright, that one's done. Add that last strip on and then we'll sew it all together. sew this on and then I will check chat. Sometimes your fabric does not want to cooperate. Alright. Now, let's check the chitty chat here. Huh. I wonder why it won't let you in. These end strings off. Sometimes I tend to forget that. Alright. Shall we add on our last piece before the borders? Uh-oh. Wrong way, wrong way. I think for this I should have used a smaller iron with all these seams, but for the most part, it's okay. Yeah, hopefully she can help. I mean, it is her channel. She should be able to do something about it. Alright, we're gonna play chicken bobbin here. Bobbin chicken, however you say it. You should have enough to finish, at least this part. And with that, the main part of our tree is done. Now, the next part would be to put on our borders. There's there's 3 borders. So, I'm thinking that we'll go ahead and put on the first border. And then, actually, I think we'll hold off on the borders because what I would like to do is take this and turn it into a family tree. So by that I mean, if you have, in all the solid squares, not the half square triangles, but all the other ones, okay, of the tree, I would like to embroider the names of probably my immediate and the grandparents. Now, if you have a big family and you want to do this, remember you've got all the Scrappy borders. You got the Scrappy border and you got the other borders that you can add names to. The Scrappy border, there's a lot of squares there. So you could really put a name on each of those squares. What do y'all think about that idea? Now, of course, you could hand embroider this with the names. But I will, of course, use my trusty, handy-dandy embroidery machine to do it. So I think because of the size, that's probably going to be the easiest way for me to do it. And then, so tomorrow we'll do, thanks Melanie. So tomorrow I'll show you how to do the names. Now, if you've just got a simple embroidery machine, it's really easy. You're just going to go in and you're going to type in your names. You can do it one at a time or you can put all the names on. I'm probably going to do it, somewhat one at a time. Just because it's such a small square, But if I had the program on my scan and cut, and I had a higher end model of my brother embroidery machine, I could scan this into my scan and cut, and type in all the names and send it over for embroidery. But I don't, so we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, which means taking a 2.5-inch square, typing in the name, and then going from there. So what I'll do is I'll probably just float it so that I can adjust it when needed. At least I hope it goes well. I haven't tried that, so I guess we'll find out. Now, here's the other question. Do y'all want to do the itty bitty teeny tiny little Christmas tree tonight or tomorrow? I have yet to cut the strips. However, it wouldn't take me that long to do the strips, but we could do that either tomorrow or the next day. Or we could do it tonight and y'all can watch me cut the strips. Doesn't matter to me. Let me know in the chat, what would y'all like? Do we do the itty bitty one tonight, or do we do it tomorrow night, or I'm sorry, not tomorrow night, but probably not Thursday, because Thursday I will not be live at all. My ex-husband, both of my daughters' dad is having a quadruple bypass. So therefore, we are driving my daughter Jaden up there so that we can be there. So I could do it Friday. I could do it tomorrow, or we can sit here and do it tonight. Okay, so how about we shoot for Friday when we do the itty bitty mini ones? And then I'll probably go live tomorrow, but I'll do it earlier than 5 or whatever time it was that we started. I'm guessing around 2 or 3. I'll probably go live. Or I could do a later stream. It just depends. And if we don't do it till Friday, that's fine too. So how about we shoot for the itty bitty mini one, extra mini one, for Friday. And then tomorrow I'll probably go live between 2 and 3. I'm guessing probably closer to 3. And we'll do the embroidery. Okay? Okay, Melanie. So, you can always shoot me in one of the other posts that I've made. Just shoot me a time where that your friend's going live tomorrow, and I will see what I can do about possibly working around that. I don't mind doing that. I really try hard not to go live when some of the other bigger creators are live, but sometimes it can't be helped. So just leave me, a message, and we'll go from there. Oh, boy, I thought that truck was gonna hit the car behind me. So with that, guys, I want to say thank y'all for joining me, and I will see y'all tomorrow to show y'all the embroidery. And with that, bye, guys. See you tomorrow.